Welcome back. All right, just the two games tonight in the National Hockey League, but they did have an effect on the standings, so we will talk about that after I am done reviewing both of these games. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to jump right in. St. Louis and Pittsburgh to start things off. Hofer versus Jarry. Hofer had a rough start to this game. 39 seconds in, Brian Rust roofs one from the left circle on their first shot. The assist to Carlson and Hollander. And then at 55 seconds, 16 seconds later, Pittsburgh scores again. It is Mantha. It's a cross-crease pass and in. Malkin and Brazeau with the assists. It's the second shot. He had no chance on that second goal. The first one, Rust has a really good shot, so it's 2-0 Pittsburgh. We're not even a minute into the game yet. Kyrou has a Rust chance that's held. 4 minutes in, the shots are 2 apiece, and at 4:15, St. Louis scores. Get on the board. It's a net feed that's buried for on a rush, and it's only the third shot on net, so both goaltenders, kind of rough save percentages to start things out. This goal's Bjugstad from Walker and Tucker. Crosby then has a slot shot that's held as the Penguins look to respond. The Blues press at 5.5 minutes. The Penguins block the net. We get a power play for St. Louis. During that, there's a post for Texier. That power play is killed off. And then Novak goes in alone out of the box. He hits the post as well. So we were posts away from having an even higher score in this one tonight. Shots are 4 apiece at the half. The Penguins press are kept to the outside. There's more pressure by the Penguins with 5 minutes left. Tucker then has a screenshot that saved the Penguins clear, but at 15:43, it's a cross-ice pass and in on a rush. Kyrou scores to tie the game at 2. The assist to Shen and Holloway. The Blues then press for the lead. Rust was denied as the Penguins got some pressure with 1.5 minutes left, but after the first period, it stays 2-2. Second period, early jump for the Penguins. Penguins press again at 2 minutes. They're kept to the outside. The teams trade turnovers. The Blues press at 4.5 minutes. They have some near misses there. Falk to Bjugstad. There's a near miss with this at the net. Then we get a power play for the Penguins, and they score on it. At the very least, now the funny thing is it doesn't show as a power play. Now, this is what was driving me nuts. They weren't showing power play. They talked about power play. I thought, wasn't that scored during the delayed power play? Since it doesn't show a power play, I'm just going to take the PPG part off of there because it was during the delayed call, I guess, which is what I thought. Both games were on at the same time at this point. 6:37. So because this is on Amazon Prime, this was playing on my computer because I'm not going to be going back and forth between the two on my TV because it's got to go to a different service and it takes a lot longer. Anyways, Wotherspoon roofs this one from the left circle. Crosby and Holloway with the assists at 6:37. And what threw me off too was this was listed as a power play goal on the app. So I was like, I guess I missed a whistle in there. Anyways, it makes it 3-2 in favor of Pittsburgh. That's the important part. Penguins look for another. The shots are only 3 apiece at 8.5 minutes. Toropchenko has a rush chance that's caught and held. Letang has a rush chance that's kicked aside. The rebound's cleared. Then there's an offensive zone penalty by Novak. If you can read lips, he talked about fudge as soon as he saw the call was being made. The Blues go to the power play. That was killed off. Not really much of a chance there for the Blues during that power play. Blues press in the closing seconds, and then the Penguins have a rush at the close, and they run out of time before they're able to get it into the net. But Pittsburgh has a 3-2 lead after 2. Third period, there's an early press by the Penguins, and they score on it. At 42 seconds, Rust scores on a rebound. Carlson and Crosby with the assists for Sidney Crosby. That is his 1,700th regular season point. So pretty high in terms of his overall point totals amongst the NHL's all-time greats. The Blues draw a power play. That's killed off. And then at 4:35, Matthew Joseph buries one via a 2-on rush. He roofs it short side. The assist to Bjugstad. So Bjugstad had himself a decent game. Gets a goal and an assist tonight. We get 2 minutes of 4-on-4. Buchnevich is denied on a rush. The shots are 5-2 for the Blues at 7.5 minutes. Snuggerud has a rush chance that's sticked aside. We get some pushing and shoving on a hold by Hofer. There's a press by the Penguins with 8.5 minutes left. Then the Blues get some pressure with 5.5 minutes left. Fowler has a shot that's blockered aside. And then at 16:39, Crosby makes it a 5-3 score. He buries his own rebound on a breakaway. The assist to Rust. The Blues pull Hofer, looking to maybe get 2 goals and knowing they only have a little over 3 minutes left. So at 16:59, Malkin takes out all of their remaining hope. He hits the empty net from Brazeau. So for Brazeau, he gets 2 assists tonight. He's now above a point per game this season. And Pittsburgh 6-3 win. We will talk about them when we get to the standings, but pretty impressive run the Penguins have been on. Shots on net, 10-9 Pittsburgh in the first, 10-8 St. Louis in the second, 10-8 St. Louis in the third. The Blues actually outshoot the Penguins 29-26. Power plays, St. Louis 0-3, and again, the app says Pittsburgh didn't have any, so that was during the delayed call. The hits, 17-9 for St. Louis. Hofer, 20 saves on 25 shots. Jari saves 26 out of 29, and continues to have a good run so far this season. All right, and the other game tonight, Boston and Ottawa. Swayman versus Marilainen. Sens in their really sharp third jerseys. There's an early press by Ottawa, and then on a turnover at 3:06, Geekie scores on the first shot Boston had. He goes from the top of the left circle on that turnover. I guess Marilainen didn't have time to get set. It's 1-0 Boston. Shots are 2-1 for Ottawa at 5 minutes. Sanderson has a shot that deflects out as the Sens get some pressure. Batherson then has a chance that's kicked aside as the Bruins get pinned down a little bit. Asimont has the high slot shot that's held as the Bruins then get some pressure the other way. Shots are 4-3 Ottawa at 8.5 minutes. We then get a power play for Ottawa. Giroux has a net feed that's picked off, and then they do score on it. It is Batherson burying a rebound to tie the game at 1 at 10:25. Gregg and Sanderson with the assists. Sens then look for the lead. Ottawa presses with 6.5 minutes left. The Sens go back to the power play. That was killed off without a shot on net. That's the end of the happiness for the penalty kill for the Bruins tonight. Arvidsson has a rush chance that's kicked aside. The Sens press with 2 minutes left. Some big saves by Swayman, who I didn't think had a bad game. It's 1-1 after 1. No indication of what is yet to come. Second period, 1:08 in. It's a net feed that's tipped in on a rush. Giroux scores from Cousins and Sanderson. So it's 2-1 for Ottawa. Corrali misses wide as the Bruins look to answer. Chabot then has a shot that's blocked as the Sens get some pressure of their own. Shots are 2-0 Ottawa at 5 minutes. The teams do trade turnovers. Sens have a 2-on-1 that misfires. The Bruins press with 9.5 minutes left. We get a post for Claude Giroux on a rush. The Sens press with 8 minutes left. They're kept to the outside. Sanderson has a one-timer that's held, and then at 14:44, on a pass from behind the goal line, it is Batherson scoring another. He scores from Eller, so Lars Eller helps to make it a 3-1 lead in favor of the Ottawa Senators. Good forechecking leads to this too by Lars Eller. Net feed to Huznadinov gets blocked. Asimont has a wraparound net saved. It is 3-1 Ottawa after 2. Third period. There's a very early power play for Ottawa. 8 seconds into the period, and it takes 5 seconds for Ottawa to score on it. So at 13 seconds, Ottawa makes this one 4-1 and makes that hill a little bit taller for the Bruins to climb. Stützle scores this one on the power play from Sanderson and Batherson. Bruins press at 2.5 minutes. Elias Lindholm has a tip shot that goes wide. The Bruins draw a power play. That's killed off. Arvidsson has a net drive chance that's held. The Bruins press at 7.5 minutes. Things get pushy on a hole by Marilainen. Later on, Ottawa goes back to the power play, and they score on this one too. It is Stützle again. He tips one in from Sanderson and Cousins at 9:33. The Bruins look to respond, but the Sens block. They don't give him a path to the net. Jeannot has a net feed that's picked off, and then at 12:22, Nick Cousins deposits a rebound. Stützle and Jensen with the assists, and I put right here, what's defense? In that, yes, Swayman got lit up, and I'm not going to say that all the goals that went in were the fault of the defense, but my lord, Boston's defense was just awful tonight. St. Louis's wasn't great either, but my gosh, just god-awful tonight. So the Sens go back to the power play, and they score on it, and it's less than a minute later. Of course, 13:04, Zetterlund scores from Chabot and Perron. So they didn't even have the top unit out there. It doesn't matter. Boston just goes, here's the net, take it. And that's the 4th power play goal of the game for Ottawa. So when we talk about 3 stars of the week next week, and Ottawa's on the list, better thank Boston. Bruins score. There's an offside review that says it was onside. I don't know why they reviewed it either, but it's 11 seconds left. It's not like Boston was going to score 6 times in 11 seconds. Arvidsson wired it from the high slot. Minton and Jeannot with the assist at 19:49. The No Mercy Magnet's still on the board. 7-2 win. So both games fall 1 goal short of being 80s games, but this one does remain a No Mercy game with a 5-goal difference. Ottawa winning 7-2 over a humiliated Boston team, We'll see how they respond tomorrow night where everybody's playing. Shots on net, 10-9 Ottawa in the first, 11-4 Boston in the second, 10-9 Ottawa in the third. Final shots 29-24 in favor of the Boston Bruins. Power plays, Boston 0 for 1. Ottawa 4 for 5. So when your penalty kills 20%, odds are it's the goaltending and the defense. Hits 33-19 Boston, so at least they were hitting. Swayman, 17 saves on 24 shots. That's going to hurt the save percentage a lot. Marilainen brings his save percentage up. After an ugly first game on the season, he has a good night tonight, 26 saves on 28 shots. And so, yeah, the Ottawa Senators had a decent night, and let's look at the standings and see how good it was. And tomorrow night, when there's 16 games, it will not take me 5 minutes to review every game, because if it did, it's like an hour and a half. It's just not going to happen. All right, so the standings are quick tonight. St. Louis, the only team in the West that played. They're now 3-5-1, 7 points in 9 games. It is still early in the season. It is still October, but St. Louis not looking very good. I'm surprised because Jim Montgomery has a reputation for having teams that do really well out of the gate. Then we go over to the East, and there's been a couple of changes here. The Ottawa Senators are now third in the division, meaning if the playoffs started tomorrow, the 2-3 matchup in the Atlantic would be Detroit and Ottawa. The Sens 5-4-1 for 11 points in 10 games. That drops Florida down. Florida with 10 points in 10 games are the number one wild card. So if New Jersey finished first in the East, their reward would be playing Florida in the first round. So I don't know if that's a reward. The Islanders drop out. They have 9 points in 8 games, same as Philly. Of course, these teams have games in hand on Florida. For the Boston Bruins, with the loss tonight, they dropped to 4-7, so they drop behind the Rangers. The Rangers have that one game in hand. Pittsburgh, with that win tonight, they're 1 point back of New Jersey, who do have a game in hand, but still 7-2-1 through 10 games. Nobody saw that coming for Pittsburgh. And it does open up a 3-point cushion over the Carolina Hurricanes. So imagine that, the Penguins, number 2 in the division. I don't think anybody saw that before the season started. This is part of the reason I'm really enjoying this season. Very unpredictable, and I like the unpredictable. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, as always. Hit like and subscribe in the event you may not have done so already. Thank you guys so much for all your support. It's greatly appreciated. I will talk to you again soon.